Alright, here we go guys. All our fix out material has arrived. So we've got our skirtings and architraves, door jambs and some of the other materials. The only thing we're waiting on is our doors, which should come in about another week's time. So what you're going to see in this episode is all this material going in around our windows and doors. And then when the doors arrive, we'll hang all those and I'll show you the process of it all going in. But what we've got, basically a colonial mould, little detail there, all ripped out of MDF, ready to go in and be primed up and painted and fixed off. Let's do it. Alright, so while Wagner's doing all those window architraves, I'm going to start on some of these door jambs for the robes. So it's just going to be a reveal with an architrave around it, and then we'll fit off the sliding door tracks and everything inside the actual reveal itself. So I'll do those, then the process is then we'll be getting our floor put down, our engineered floor, and then we'll put our door jambs and doors on top of that. So a little bit of mucking around, but we'll see it all take shape. So you see we're going around starting some of the architraves. Some of the other things that we're going to do is go into all these door frames and actually set up for the door jam. So what I like to do is basically just take a long 2400 high doors. I've got a 2400 level which just fits inside the frame. So I'm going to pack it top, middle and bottom because these doors are going to have 3 hinges on them. Once that's packed we can make up the jam frames, slide them in, screw them or nail them off, and then we're ready to sort of hang our doors. Also got like a little trimmer the other day as well too, little battery powered one, so I can house out for the hinges in place on the frame and on the doors, which should speed up a bit of time. In the past I've always chiseled them out with the old hammer and chisel, so hopefully it'll be a bit faster. But that's what you're going to see over this video: skirtings, architraves, door jams, the basic sort of fit off. We might show you the robes going in as well, and then after that it's really paint, then floor coverings like carpet, and we're getting pretty close to being on the home stretch. Alright, so there you go. Now that's packed in a few places. That's the hinge side. I always pack the hinge side first. I can make that jam up, nail it off into that side. Then what I normally do is hang the door, leave one side loose, and then either lift that stile up or down to get the head level, and then pack the other side to suit after that. You'll see more as it goes in, but just to give you an example of how it all works. Now I have the jam made up and one stile packed. It's just a matter of popping it up into place, nailing the side off that's packed, and then I plumb and level the other side, fix the head, and then it's ready for the robes. And here we're probably going to have a track at the bottom, a track at the top, and a couple of sliding mirror doors. Still waiting on the final design on that, but that's the rough idea of what's going to happen. So what they're doing now is that king post that's going to go up in that last gable, and then we're going to put 2 web trusses coming up just to finish that little detail off at the front. So I'll show you that now. We'll set it up on the scaffold, and then that should finish off that front gable to the alfresco area, and then we're going to work around and do some of the other external gables with some of those little truss details up on the top, which should look pretty good. It's probably a little bit hard to see at the moment, but there's a beam coming out through there, and the king post is going to run straight off that bottom beam up to the top to support it, and then we're going to put our little fan trusses, which are just decorative, out to the side to finish it off. Wagner's just made up a template there for that top cut around the beam, and this is the new site supervisor. Coco. Weeing and pooing everywhere. What we're doing now is just sort of running a speed ball through here so we can try and get through both sides, and then we'll tidy this up with a chisel, and that should be our cut for our beam. Along with finishing these gables off, we're also doing some of the paint prep. So you see that now we're going along and just filling underneath the weatherboards and just patching up any nail holes as we go. So that way when we do paint, it's just going to make it a little bit easier that some of this prep's done while we've got the scaffold and stuff there. Okay, so another thing on the list for the fix out is our front door frame, jamb, and everything going in. So what you see laid up on the floor is that all cut up. I needed to custom make that, and I think you saw me cut up some of those timbers back in the, I think the cladding episode. So now what I'm going to do is put all this together, get that in, and then what that will allow us to do is actually then come through here with our timber floor and butt into the front entry door, work back around here, down the hallway and out in the lounge room. And then once that timber floor goes down, then we can put our bedroom door jambs in and our doors on top of that, skirtings, and then fit everything else off. It's hard putting a finished surface down first because then we still need to paint and everything else, so we're going to be working over the top of it. So we're just going to have to make sure that we cover that up pretty well once it goes in, because it's a pre-finished floor, which you'll see probably in another episode coming up. But for now, I'll get that front door jamb in and you'll see that go together. And yeah, getting closer to having everything completely locked up. Joints are primed up just to stop a little bit of water. Even though they're all treated, it just acts as a bit more of a seal. Just an extra layer of precaution, I guess. Trying to lock her out of the house. She's chewing on the architraves and chewing on just about everything, aren't you? You little rascal, new puppy. So if I can get the front and the back door, and at least we can sort of keep her outside for a while. She can stop eating our new home. And she's got sharp little puppy teeth, haven't you? Hey? I think it might be time for a new nail bag as well too. I've had this Morky one for about 5 years now. The Velcro, I'm not 100%. So it's been all right, but wouldn't mind maybe one of the leather ones. So if you guys actually know of a good nail bag, let me know in the comments below and I'll consider it. Pros and cons. So this is the hardwood sill. I've just got to finish notching out where my stiles go, and then I can start putting it all together. So the way I've done this is set the trenching guide on the saw, put a block behind the back of this timber here on the fence so it just sits out enough, and then you run the saw blade through to trench it down to that level there. So this sill has a bit of a slope on it, so the water runs away from the door. So you're going from nothing back taking a bit out of this side here. So just making the final adjustments just by chisel. Coffee break too. All right, now I'm going to lay it all out and glue it up. I'm going to tack it all together with the gun and nails, and then I'll come back and screw it off with some 8-gauge screws and everything just to lock it all together. Do a dry run to make sure it all fits. Yeah, something like that. Pre-driller just so the hardwood doesn't split at the end, so just a drill bit big enough to pass that screw through. Like I said, so it doesn't split. All right, so there you go, all made up. Now I might put some little side transoms in it just to break that up so that I can make it like little 300mm panels the whole way round. Either that or maybe one transom in the middle to break up the two side lights and also give the hinges a little bit more stability, because at the moment that's quite a heavy door and you're only relying on one jamb there, so you really need something, at least a mid brace, to help support that hinge. But like I said, I think I'm actually going to put in transoms every 300, maybe one to line up here, so it's 300 by 300, and then break this up into 3 even pieces at the top, or just leave it as one big one. I'm not 100% sure yet. It's a good thing about custom, you can just sort of make it up as you go, I guess. But yeah, it's a start. Then I'm just going to plumb up the frame opening, slide it in, and then the next step would be to hinge out for our door. I've got like a little battery operated trimmer. I'll hinge those out, hinge out the door, put it on, and then we'll just need some glass. All right, keep going. Now we're just trying to work out what spacings we're going to put in here for these transoms. I've got the boss with me. Come in here, Al. What do you reckon? I'm thinking to start with across the top. So like 1. All right, I've spoken to the boss and we're going to look at doing these two here. One which is sort of up at about the center of the bottom of the door here, and then if we evenly space it, then we end up with another one there in the middle. So I think that'll be good. Just that'll secure this stile on the side, or the stiles where the hinges are going to go. Like I said, it's a solid core door. It's a bit over 1 meter wide, so it's going to be quite heavy. So I'll put 4 hinges on this. That with the glass and everything siliconed in should make it nice and solid. Hello Eden, how are you? Come for a bit of a look? And I've got a devil in the background. All right, let's get it together. All right, now the next stage, now that that frame's made up, just want to pack the sill, pack one stile, and then what I can do is you've got a perfect 90-degree corner. Once you do that, I can slide the window in, or the door frame in, fix it off down here, and then all I need to do is pack this side with what's left in the opening, and it should be level and plumb. It's actually pretty good where it is, so I'll just pop that frame in now. It should be good. And that's it. It's going to be our front door. Once we hinge it, should be all good. All right, so there you go. Now all we need is a little bit of flashing around it all. Finish off the weatherboards on both sides and above and around with the window trims. A little bit of glass, some door furniture, and then that's the front entry all complete. At least now that's in, we can do the architraves on the inside. And like I said, that gives us something to now start our internal flooring, or the engineered floor that's going to go down. Can just run straight off that and work down the hallway. So pretty happy with how that come up. Lick of paint, be looking at $1 million. All right, in the bathroom now, so just measuring up for these lining boards that go on this back wall. This is going to be the feature that lines around the toilet and back to the doorway here, just a vertical lining. It's an FC sheet, 1200 long, 2700 high, so I just got to chop them down in length. I've just picked up all the lining boards for the bathroom. We've got some FC sheet that's going to be going in. I'll unload that now. Now while this stuff looks good, it's just a bit hard to cut. The only problem being FC sheet, a lot of dust comes off it, so you've got to have the right dust mask and protective gear for it. But anyway, I've got to chop these little pieces into size, and then that'll do around the toilet, and then we get the bathroom finished off.